Alright, so we're going to do number 3 and 4 here. And so as we get our stuff ready here, okay, so we have x and y have been initialized, and so this is a while loop. This while loop here goes from here to here. This is the body of the loop. So it's going to repeat this until it says to stop. Inside the loop body is another loop, so that's why we call it a nested loop. So this is number 4. The first thing it says is called it's a nested loop situation. Now we want to give names to each loop so we know what we're talking about. This is the outer loop because this is on the outside. Is the first one that we come to, and then inside this is the inner loop right here. And so right there, that's number 4. Alright, so now in here, when we get to this while loop, this is the loop body. So this is going to be repeated over and over again until it's done and stops, and then it goes past while. So let's get some of this stuff out of here. Alright, so this is the inner loop. Oops. Okay, so x is 1, y is 10. X is less than or equal, 1 is less than or equal to 3, so we jump into the loop. This loop contains a while loop that we do until it says to stop, and it includes a state and 3 more print statements. These all have to be completed every time we jump into this outer while loop. And so we look into while here to start this loop. Y is greater than 5, which is true. 10 is greater than 5, and so we jump into this loop. Now this loop, we're going to stay in this loop until we're done. And so it says to print hot, and then we take and subtract 3 from y. This is the end of the loop. End of what loop? It's the end of this while loop. This is the beginning, this is the end. And so sometimes students want to go back up to here, but that's not where we're at. This is the end of this inner loop. And so we go back here, and now 7 is greater than 5 still, so we jump into this while loop, and we're going to print hot again. And then we're going to subtract 3 on the next line, and we have 4 now. And so this is the end of the inner loop, and we're going to go back to its while, to the inner while, and 4 is not greater than 5. So now we're going to kick out of the inner loop, but we're still within the outer loop. And so we go to the next line down. This is the next thing. It's part of the outer loop body. So it says to print dog. And then we increment x by 1. And then we multiply y and x together and assign that to y, so it's going to be 8. Now this is the end of the outer loop, so we're going to go back to the outer while. Alright, so x is 2 is less than or equal to 3, so we're going to jump into this loop body again. So we now, in this loop body, again, we have an inner loop and 3 other print statements. And so let's time out for a second. Alright, so we're in here ready to start this while loop again. And so 8 is the value of y, so 8 is greater than 5, so we are going to jump into this inner loop again and do this inner loop until it says to stop. So we want to print hot, and then we're going to subtract 3 from y. And end of loop, end of inner loop, so we'll go back to inner y. 5 is not greater than 5, So therefore we're done with this loop. We kick out of it, and we're still within the outer loop body. So now we're going to do the last three statements. So we're going to dog. We're going to increment x by 1. And then we're going to multiply y and x together. And assign that to y. Now we're go to the next line down, which is the end of the outer loop. So we go back to outer while statement. X is less than or equal to 3, so we're jumping back into the while statement. The while statement here, y is greater than 5. Well, 15 is greater than 5. So we're going to go in, and now we're going to do this inner loop until it says to stop. So it's going to keep going on and on and on until it says to stop. And so the first thing it says to do is print hot. Subtract 3 from y. Go back to while, to the inner while. 12 is greater than 5. Jump into the loop because it's true. Print hot. Subtract 3 from y. End of inner loop, go back to inner while. 9 is greater than 5. Jump back into the loop, print hot. Subtract 3 from x, or from y. And so we have 3, or 6. End of loop, go back to inner while. 6 is greater than 5. Jump back in the loop, we print hot. Subtract 3 from y. End of inner loop, go back to inner while. 3 is not greater than 5, so we're done now with this loop. We kick out of it, and we go do these next three statements. So we print dog, and then we increment x by 1, and then we multiply x and y together, which gives us 12. Alright, so we've done that line, so now we're here, and we are at the end of the while loop. So we go back to this outer while, and x, 4 is less than or equal to 3 is false. So therefore we're going to kick out of the while. This while started here, ends here, so we're kicking out and going to here. And we're going to print I ate, and whatever y is, that many hot dogs. So, and y happens to be 12. I ate 12 hot dogs. Alright, that is number 3.